Now on Eyewitness News at 10.
The torture. Just him yelling for his life.
We're hearing from a family of an elderly man who died when a hit-and-run driver hit his motorized wheelchair. We'll show you the truck police are searching for tonight. Plus, a brand new look at the timeline of events on the day of the Uvalde school shooting. Also, the team looking for the hardest parts of Houston so they can take action to try and cool down parts of the city. The news starts in 30 seconds.
ABC 13 Eyewitness News starts now.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Tom Abrams. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. Tonight, Pasadena police are hoping surveillance photographs will help them find a suspect in a deadly hit-and-run crash. The victim is an elderly disabled man who...
This is an Eyewitness News Morning Update.
Thanks for joining us for this Eyewitness News Morning Update. I'm Thomas Payer.
A homecoming fit for an Olympian.
I really wanted to meet her in person.
St. Paul native Suni Lee's fans celebrate her accomplishments in Paris. Plus, the last time around, it was close. Now there's a rematch for the primary.
I'm feeling excited that people are going to go out and vote.
I think the message is out. I think we have the base of support.
We size up the race between incumbent Ilhan Omar and challenger Don Samuels. And homeownership may be more realistic than you think.
This is the Super Bowl of affordable housing.
With help from Habitat for Humanity.
This is Fox 9 News at 9.
A live look at Minneapolis tonight, where these really mild temperatures continue as we cap off an incredible weekend of weather in the 70s. Good evening, everybody. I'm Amy Hockert. Thanks so much for joining us here on Fox 9.
Much more news ahead. Eyewitness News at 6 starts now.
Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
A 13-year-old girl stabbed by 3 teenage boys outside Barclays Center.
I didn't even look back to see if he was still there chasing us. I just ran.
Tonight, that girl speaking exclusively to Eyewitness News from her hospital bed about what led up to that attack. Plus, a woman raped her boyfriend attacked just 1 block from the Coney Island boardwalk. Tonight, 2 men are in custody, both residents of a nearby migrant shelter. And a new fire commissioner in New York City.
This is truly a dream come true.
Robert Tucker named the 35th commissioner of the FDNY. Who is he and what made him right for the job? Good evening at 6 o'clock. I'm Sandra Bookman in tonight for Bill and Liz. We're going to get to those stories in a minute, but we want to begin with breaking news we've been following in Edison, New Jersey. A water main break that has...
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Commissioner Tucker.
Taking charge, Robert Tucker is sworn in as the 35th commissioner of New York City's legendary fire department. The challenges he faces ahead. Health Alert, the new report on men and cancer, projecting an alarming increase in the years ahead. What could be behind it and what men can do to lower their risk? And the new way to snap a selfie on the street, the art project turning New York City's traffic cameras into a kind of photo booth.
From ABC 7 New York, this is Eyewitness News Extra Time.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Eyewitness News Extra Time. I'm Sandra Bookman. There is a new boss of the fabled New York City Fire Department. Today, Mayor Adams named Robert Tucker, a security company executive, as the new FDNY commissioner.
Tonight at 7, a bull bound for slaughter breaks loose from a local farm. Details on the havoc it created across Raynham before charging at police officers. A rising Red Sox star is suspended after making an offensive comment to a fan. How long Jaron Duran is going to be out, plus his apology tonight. And there's a new law in Massachusetts guaranteeing equal rights for LGBTQ plus parents. What you need to know about the bill signed by the governor today. The news at 7 starts right now. Good Monday evening and welcome to the beginning of the work week. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Corey Smith. Let's get things started with a check of your weather. Our first alert team tracking showers rolling through the area tonight, and later this week, sounds like things might get a little humid. Chief Meteorologist Pete Bouchard here with me with the latest details. Pete.
Live with studios in Midland and Odessa. You're watching First Alert 7 News at 4:30.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. We have some news from over the weekend. 2 people were taken to the hospital after a tanker crash yesterday afternoon in Midland. First Alert News at 5 starts right now.
Live with studios in Midland and Odessa. You're watching First Alert 7 News at 5.
Good evening to you, and thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Desde la capital de California y cubriendo todo el Valle Central, Noticiero Telemundo California a las 5:30. Comienza ahora.
Hoy por la tarde, residentes del sur del estado fueron sacudidos por un sismo de magnitud 4.4. El terremoto se produjo alrededor de las 12:20 de la tarde, donde se reportaron incidentes relacionados con el terremoto en la ciudad de Pasadena.
Plus, team coverage as the wet weather is causing flooding for neighbors. What one woman says is to blame for the water piling up.
And concern is growing for flooding following wildfires.
Anywhere that it rains, it can flood.
How officials are looking to stop the floods before they start.
And could AI help teens with their mental health struggles?
How it could bridge the gap for teens and counselors, and why the technology may not be there yet.
Live, streaming, and on the KUTV app. This is KUTV 2 News at 10.
Well, quite a day. Strong storms soaking much of Utah, giving areas some desperately needed rain, but the storms didn't come out without some problems. Thanks for joining us for 2 News at 10 tonight. I'm Mark Cabell.
And I'm Heidi Hatch. Glad you're with us tonight. We do have live team coverage across the Wasatch Front and beyond with the impacts from today's weather.
Yeah, I want to begin
live, local, late breaking. This is KEZI 9 News Midday.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here for KEZI 9 News at Midday. I'm Adam Miranda.
And I'm Storm Tracker 9, meteorologist Cameron Landfield.
This is Sky News, the headlines. Lessons must be acted upon. A damning report points to systemic mental health care failings that allowed the Nottingham attacker to kill.
I think sometimes the way these services are funded, it's almost like these deaths are collateral damage to a poorly run and poorly funded system.
Also, Ukraine tells Putin only peace will stop its offensive as Zelensky's forces continue their push into Russia. As diplomatic efforts continue in the Middle East, in Gaza, a stark reminder of the human cost of the conflict. Hopes of respite for the firefighters battling the aftermath of wildfires in the suburbs of Athens. Plus, Banksy's summer tour takes the animals to the zoo, but is it a breakout or a break-in? Good morning, welcome to the programme. The Health Secretary says lessons must be learned and acted upon after the deaths of 3 people brutally stabbed in Nottingham last summer.
Hola, soy Elba Saray y nos vemos a las 11:30 de la mañana en Acceso Total.
Este es su noticiero Telemundo 52 a las 5:30.
¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes, gracias por seguir aquí con nosotros. Les saluda Enrique Quiabra.
Yo soy Duny Elvira, es un placer que continúe aquí. Alejandra Ortiz está en una asignación especial.
Next at 6 o'clock, the clock is ticking now for an RV community in San Francisco to find a new place to park. Less than 2 weeks after the city forced them to move the last time around. Also ahead.
2 days ago, it stopped coming up to the 5th floor.
Patients running low in a senior home in East Oakland as elevators frequently break down. The tenants taking their concerns to City Hall.
And 3 former jail guards convicted of beating a mentally challenged inmate to death have agreed now to a new plea deal.
This is KTVU Fox 2 News at 6.
And that deal means they would be released on house arrest and could receive credit for time already served in jail and then be freed within the next 12 months. Good evening, everyone.
This morning at 6, multiple Warner Robins police officers are on leave this morning after a shootout outside of people's homes. What we know coming up. And Georgia Democrats are lashing out at Governor Brian Kemp after they claim he's denying aid to over 1 million children in the Peach State.
Well, we're starting out with mostly clear skies in middle Georgia. Will you need the umbrella before you head out? I'll give you that answer coming up in just a bit. Stay with us.
Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News This Morning.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock. You're watching WGXA Morning News on ABC 16. I'm Brittany Miller here with Gary Thigpen. Gary, we've been getting lots of sunshine and lots of heat. I like that. I hope it continues today.
Well, just to please you, Brittany, I think it's going to.
Tropical Ernesto, tenemos un reportaje desde la isla. Comenzó como una noche de diversión y terminó en tragedia. Conductor de camión se estrella contra un centro de adultos. La razón en minutos.
Es el momento en que arrestan al responsable de una tragedia familiar. Le tenemos los detalles del incidente que enluta a una familia de la bahía de Tampa.
Y el resto duró poco en el Mar Caribe, ya regresó al Atlántico, pero se encuentra tan solo 60 millas hacia el noreste de Puerto Rico, en San Juan. Vamos a hablar de esto más adelante.
Un día de preparativos, así vivieron este martes residentes de Puerto Rico, horas antes que la tormenta tropical Ernesto pase por el este de la isla. El gobierno ajustaba sus planes y tomaba acción para el bien de la ciudadanía. ¿Qué tal? Muy buenas noches, bienvenidos a su noticiero Telemundo 49 a las 11. Les saluda Ramón Díaz y Puerto Rico en alerta por los posibles impactos de la tormenta tropical Ernesto. ¿Qué dice el último boletín del Centro Nacional de Huracanes? Vamos de inmediato con nuestro jefe de meteorología, Rubén.
There was 2 fang marks. I knew I was in trouble.
He was bitten by a rattlesnake and lived to tell the story. Tonight, this snake bite survivor speaks out about his near-death experience. Plus, primary day here in Connecticut, and we're getting a better idea of what the ballot will look like come November. And a big expansion taking flight at an airport on the shoreline, but not everyone is on board. Why the plan is triggering frustration.
Now on Channel 3 and streaming on WFSP+. This is Eyewitness News at 11.
First up tonight at 11 o'clock, it was a rattlesnake run-in that nearly cost one man his life. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Erin Connolly. Tonight, that man from Torrington is...
Good morning and welcome to Revid News Morning. I'm Erica Sutherland. Sunshine could be possible along the coast today. And how's inland looking? Let's check in with Lauren Bretter.
Thanks, Erica. Good morning. We had some surprising sunshine yesterday along the coast. We have more.
Watching NBC3, the spirit of the North Coast. The spirit of the North Coast. This is Redwood News at 6.
Good evening and welcome to Revid News. I'm Erica Sutherland. The Boise fire just south of Orleans has grown to at least 4,200 acres with 0% containment at this time.
This is WSAZ at 8.
After an argument that led to an assault, it all started over a toaster pastry.
This is WSAZ 6 o'clock.
We begin tonight with a breaking news alert. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Sager.
And I'm Tim Ear. Just weeks before the season opener, several high school football teams in our region are being reclassified.
So what does this mean for your child's team? We have team coverage tonight, breaking down the details of this decision and looking ahead as to what comes next.
Live with studios in Midland and Odessa. You're watching First Alert 7 News at 6.
Good evening to you, and thanks so much for joining us tonight at 6. We start tonight tracking crime.
This has been a TV Land production.